The Emerald Tablet, Chapter 5. The Fast Green Thing on Benjamin's Shoulder. Benjamin jumped up out of his seat, trying to swat at the thing on his shoulder. "Oh, there's no need to do that now, is there?" the small, kind of human-looking thing said to Benjamin as it grabbed hold of his collar and held on for dear life. Benjamin looked to Proteus Ajax. "What is this thing?" "This thing?" the green thing asked. "Since when am I referred to as a thing?" The thing put its little hands on its little hips. "I happen to be a Nautical, and I have a full name, though you don't need to know it, so instead you may call me Jack." Benjamin hesitated, but sat back down, and the little Nautical, Jack, sat upon his shoulder. Benjamin tried not to flinch. "What exactly is a Nautical, and why is there one on my shoulder?" Benjamin asked. The Nautical rested back on his hands and crossed his legs. "A Nautical is kind of like a really small telegen, but different," Proteus Ajax said. "As to why this one has chosen to sit on your shoulder, you'll have to ask him. It's not often that a Nautical chooses to associate with telegens, so you should consider yourself fortunate. Nauticals make valuable friends." "Yeah, so you'll be stuck with me for a while," Jack smiled. "Oh, I won't bother you much. Just pretend I'm not here if you have to." "Yes, but where did he come from?" Benjamin asked. "A genetic engineering experiment, I'm afraid," Proteus said. "You're afraid?" Jack said. "What's that supposed to mean?" Proteus smirked. "Don't play dumb. You know as well as I do that Nauticals were created after the big genetic engineering crackdown." "You mean they were never supposed to have been created?" Ryan Jordan, the same boy who thought they were on Mars, asked. "There are always exceptions to the rules," Jack the Nautical said, "and Nauticals just happen to be the perfect exception." "Right," Proteus agreed. "Perfect and illegal." Benjamin looked sideways at Jack. Perfect? He figured maybe the light green skin color of the little man served some purpose, but the blue hair and bright yellow eyes? That had to be some kind of experiment gone wrong. Maybe it took some getting used to. "Are there other species like Jack?" Gary asked. By the way Gary's mouth had been hanging open, Benjamin was surprised he'd actually been able to close it to form words. "Nope," Jack said, sitting up a little straighter. "No is right," Proteus said. "After the Nautical fiasco, telegnostics were put in place to make sure no more telegens were genetically engineered." Benjamin noticed Iva raised her hand to ask a question, when the boy sitting next to Ryan Jordan beat her to it. "What's a telegnostic?" he asked. Iva looked over and glared at him. "Someone who can sense thoughts and events from far away across distance or time," Proteus said. "When a telegnostic is honed in on one type of idea, in this case genetic engineering, they are perfect watchdogs. You'll be learning much more about telegnosis along with other cerebral abilities in your classes," Proteus said, trying to get the class's attention back from Jack. Benjamin looked at Jack. Jack smiled back at Benjamin. "You won't even know I'm around," Jack said. Benjamin tried to relax, but found it hard to pretend the small man wasn't on his shoulder. Would Jack be around all the time? Would he have to shower with the Nautical on his shoulder? That didn't sound too good. And on cue, the Nautical disappeared. "What a treat! I haven't seen a Nautical in years." Proteus clapped his hands together. "Anyway, enough about that. We have some logistical issues to go over now." He raised a gold piece of metal, about the size of his palm, into the air. He touched 2 fingers to the top of it, and it tripled in size. "Please pull this item out of your backpack." Everyone in the class reached down underneath their desks into the school-provided backpacks to retrieve the object. "This is your personal sheath," Proteus began. "It has been coded to match only your DNA signature." "What does it do?" Ryan Jordan asked, looking at the back of the piece of metal, then the front, hoping to see something. He tried prodding at it with his fingers, with no success. "Your sheath does everything. You may think of it as your internet connection to the world. Well, not quite the world. It doesn't connect to the human internet, but you'll hardly find that a limitation." Proteus explained how to operate the thing. With little effort, Benjamin accessed his class schedule just by thinking about it. His schedule had boring, normal subjects like science and homeroom, but telepathy, telekinesis, telegnosis, and teleportation sounded promising. Then Proteus went over the rules. They were pretty basic. Year 1 Denarians couldn't leave the city. Judging by the map, Benjamin thought this shouldn't be a problem. There ought to be plenty to keep them busy just in the capital city of Mu. Are there any final questions before we break for the day?" With the apparent information overload, no one, not even Ryde and Jordan, asked another question.